stream should now be up and running on the YouTubes. Hold on a sec. We will find out. We are live. That's a loud ad. I think we're good. That means now we're going to jump over to Twitch, see if that's live. Twitch should be going live. And now. Hey, y'all. Oh, rewards enabled on channel, eh? What does that mean? Oh, it's the subscription thing. Okay. Cool. Time to open up Twitch. Don't care about that other person that's streaming. Oh, frickety frack. Hold on one sec. Gotta change something on Twitch real quick. Boop. 1 second, everybody. Guess who messed up? It was me. Oops, I forgot to change the title because I'm stupid. Boom. Okay. Now we're gonna go live on Twitch. Pop. All right, let's try this again. Failed to determine. Blah, 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 blah. Yep, I know. I messed that up. I know. If you could just show me what's happening, that would be great. I have to... Oh. It did not like that. Hold on. I'm going in. Checking it out. I am live. Yes, cool. Can you take me there, though? That is... Therein lies the problem. Show me the actual stream. Okay, whatever. I'll do it manually. All right, we're now live on Twitch. We are good to go. Cool. Let me just change this to chat only. Boop. Boom. Now we're good. Twitch chat's in the corner. YouTube chat's over here. I can read it. Everything should be good to go. And now, wait. I don't have any cool things to mention beforehand in the stream. Just that. Again, I'm going to say, apparently when you log in to, well, not when you log in, but if you join the chat on Twitch, the rewards are enabled, which right now is if you purchase a subscription to my channel or you gift a subscription to my channel, you get Discord Nitro free for 3 months. That lets you get the moving avatars. It lets you get bigger file sizes when you're uploading, and I'm sure there are other benefits. You can boost a server when you're Nitro too, but I'm not sure if that actually costs extra. I've never done it. I think for a while Okamigakure was level 1, but that was all Grimbo and had nothing to do with me. The only other things I want to talk about is I did leave myself some notes that... What's up, BP? Are we? We're not anymore, but it does show that thing in the corner. Oh, we are currently level 1, but we're going to go down to 0? I don't know what that means. Check status. Oh, we are currently level 1. You and Shin are boosting us. Oh, thanks, man. I got on a little later than I usually do, Arvin. Hey, Shin. Thank you for boosting Okamigakure. I didn't know that until just now.
Who told you?
Level 2 in 10 minutes. Are you going to boost us too, BP? You're already boosting us. Can you boost more than once? I have no idea how boosting works on Discord. So when I sound like a noob, it's because I am. I have no idea how it works.
Just take it.
I'm not gonna say no. Oh.
Do it.
For those of you who are running Stream Decks, there was an update where they added a bunch of new features, and one of the features was that you can add chapters to your videos if you're recording or streaming in OBS Studio, and most of us assumed that meant like the chapters on YouTube, but it's actually chapters for the video files itself. It won't do the YouTube chapters thing. You still have to do that manually. Like, what a letdown.
That is kind of disappointing.
Monster Hunter Wilds beta? I didn't even know it was ready to go. Monster Hunter is a good place to get some not information. God dang it.
Inspiration.
Thank you. To get some inspiration for your kaiju-sized monsters. If you don't want to go for Heliana's Guide and oh no, Ryoko's Guide. Ryoko's Guide is mostly all about kaiju and how like you can climb them in a very Shadow of the Colossus, Dragon's Dogma kind of way.
Very much a Shadow of a Colossus style. I do think that if you're going to run kaiju-sized monsters, you should have multiple parts to said monsters that can and will be targeted. I think of it in the terms of in D&D, you do deal with colossal monsters. Mainly, I think the most popular one is the Tarrasque.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually larger than a city. As are most dinosaur creatures in D&D, which the Tarrasque, I think, technically is, which is still the weirdest thing ever. But I'm not even going to get into the...
He's definitely based on a Carnotaur. Definitely.
Yes. No, 1,000%.
But way bigger.
Oh, yeah. But I do think that in those situations, yeah, I did see that Arvin mentioned making a custom dragon. But also dragon-sized creatures. I do think that if you get into the ancient realm of dragons, or if you're dealing with dragon gods along those lines of Tiamat, Bahamut, which do exist in the lore, or even your own dragons, like I said, you can always get crazy. You should have targetable body parts that can bring down a beast, or at least temporarily stun them. Dragon's Dogma, you had mentioned before, Okami, I think that does a great job of it in having body parts that you can wail on. Like you can climb up a Cyclops and wail on its eye and blind it, or target something's knee and temporarily drop it so you can easily grab on and climb stuff. Monster Hunter does it all the time. They've been doing it for ages. And breakable parts to creatures, where you can kind of like knock something down or stun it out of the air, slice off its tail to disable an attack. I think that kind of
the Dark Souls special,
as mean as the word is, and how much I'm sure YouTube and Twitch won't like it, the word dismemberment of creatures. I think it's actually really cool to have that, and on a giant scale, it's necessary, because if you're dealing with like a world-ending kaiju style creature that has a giant weapon, I think you want it to drop the weapon. I think so, at least.
And like it's crazy that we have gargantuan creatures. Like there are like Tarrasque is so big, and they've never thought of like, oh, I can rip this guy apart for armor. Or make items out of their stuff. Like, there should be rules in the game for that exist, but they don't. So you got to go for stuff like Heliana's Guide is big on that. Anything in that vein. And if dragons that are tameable is what you're after, even though I feel like a terrible fan for this, I'm not backing Draconis, but Draconis by Chane and Studio Agate is on Kickstarter right now, and it's all about playing a totally pacifistic D&D 5e campaign where there's so many different varieties of dragons, and you can basically make them your partners just by hanging out with them, getting to know them. Highly recommend. Chane is an amazing artist, and this kind of spawned from Chane made an art book. You guys, if you've been on the channel for a while, you'll know who Studio Agate is, because I love everything in the Fate Forge line, and this is in it. Studio Agate is, I guess technically they're the publisher of this, and Chane is really the architect of it, the developer, because she made an art book a while back called Draconis, where she detailed all these dragons, and Studio Agate was like, why don't we just, you want to make them playable? And I can imagine that the only reaction to that is like Jake from Adventure Time when his eyes sparkle. Like, there was no other reaction to that. You want to make them playable? Yes. Yes, I do. And now it's out right now. Go look it up. I don't know if I can link to... I don't know if I can link to a crowdfund that I haven't already...
I don't know if you can at all.
So background wise,
question.
like metadata wise, on YouTube, generally speaking, you can link to a Kickstarter or something like that, but you have to tell YouTube that it is yours beforehand. Like, you have to set it up like, this is an official link for me. So I don't know if I can do that when it's not my official link. So it's gonna have to go into the description. Good to know.
I think the description is a good place.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun place. But I do think it's going to be just us today.
Yep. I did
Staring at
see
these
that
DMs.
when DM Lacara was like, I can't make it tonight, that everyone else's icons lit up, and I was like, ooh, are you guys going to join us? But it doesn't look that likely, which is a bummer.
You never know.
I'm hoping somebody shows up.
Work. Well, don't worry. Steve is always here with us.
Steve is always here. Just strapped to one of our chests, waiting to take the damage for us.
In fact, that's what happens when one of us isn't at the round table. It's just Steve dressed as the missing, the missing members.
Oh, I gotta put up a Steve icon. Steve.
We do need a Steve icon.
DM Lacara made the art, so gotta use it.
That's right.
I did add another one, but it's more for gaming than... Wait, is it here? Yes, it is. It's more for gaming than anything else. And let me see, is this the button for it? There it is. Somebody had a Skeletor, but I was like, yo, this is the greatest thing to pop up on the screen when I've been killed in a video game. Yeah, it's more for that than DM Roundtable.
It's okay. It's okay.
The only other one I've added so far. But occasionally I'm sure we'll be using it in DM Roundtable. I'm sure.
It is quite glorious. It took a second for it to pop up because there's a slight delay on YouTube, but that is quite glorious.
But today we're going to be talking about, speaking of, was it a magical pumpkin? We're going to be looking at items today based on the vote from last week. So this is the first time we've taken a look at just items. And I know from going through my bookmarks that sometimes there will be mundane items that people just want to throw in the game, and sometimes there will be magic items. It doesn't really matter one way or the other. They're all items realistically, so some of them won't be magical. I think all three of these are magical for today. That being said,
I think you do need a good mix if you're going to create a system or of any kind like that, of a mix of mundane and magical items. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it helps flesh out your world, and like there's so much that's missing in D&D. Yeah, you can reflavor a lot of stuff, but sometimes it's nice to just have someone who already made it, and you just be like, pluck in my world.
I will reflavor weapons all the time because I do not believe that weapons are anything worth creating an entirely brand new weapon style, like, and settings, especially with the new mastery system, you can simplify your life. Especially if you want it just for flavor purposes. What's wrong with a katana being a reflavored longsword? It still does the same damage, you know?
Yo, this is, I'm gonna make words one day.
Give them back these words.
So the Dark Souls, the RPG, it's not, I don't know if it's technically actually 5e, but you can very well easily just use everything in 5e. I don't know if it was built in 5e, but it's built in something incredibly similar. And the Alon Knights, they have black steel katanas, and I was reading the weapon description, and I was like, blah, 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 blah. Oh, this is just a regular D&D weapon. Like, I'm definitely going to use the black steel katana at some point. So I'm going to write down to bring that over.
I use kind of some of the D&D damage dice for certain things right now in the game that I've been working on in my system, and I find that it's easier to simplify your life. There are going to be a bajillion roles at the table. You will as a GM or DM, you will never remember them all. So I find it easier to just be like, hey, you know what? All weapons of a certain caliber deal 1d6. All big weapons deal X amount of damage. I think right now, like, the most damaging weapon in my game is a rifle.
Ooh.
It does 2d20 damage. However, you have to then take a turn to reload. And because stopping isn't always advised, reloading can be dangerous when you're dealing with hordes of things, you know?
I definitely feel like if you're using the reload, any weapon that has the reload mechanic, because you're losing that action economy, you hope that the people who are playing, they start combat with that weapon that needs to be reloaded, and then when it gets done, they have something else. They just swap it out.
You would hope. I learned very quickly that hope can be dashed rather viciously across the rocks. Because I most definitely watched individuals completely forget just the rules of combat and life and attempt to kill themselves. Folks, I will give you a hint that if you walk into somebody's house and discuss killing them, they will most likely not take it well. Just a little life advice I tried to give my team, my players. They did not take it well.
There are, in fact, consequences. To quote one of our guest players from last session, "Oh no, what's this? The consequences of my actions." But that being said, we're going to jump into items. The first one is actually an artifact, which, if you didn't know, I just explained artifacts to Grimjack, who sent me possibly the weakest artifact I've ever seen, that somebody else had made. That's not what we're going over here. But in order to explain it, generally artifacts are even higher than very rare. Usually there's it's a one of one item ish, like only one of them exists in the multiverse. So if you have it, good on you. You're also probably putting a target on your back, but good on you for getting it.
Yeah. By the way, Okami, did you happen to drop the link for people?
I
to
am
check out.
going to throw the link out. If you're here on YouTube, you can look at the description to follow along with us. Those links are already there. For those of you on Twitch, I'm throwing the link out, and I'm going to pin it for the next 30 minutes, but I may end up unpinning it because it is, in fact, just one item, and then popping in the next link when that time comes. I'm also going to throw it in DM chat in case DM Lacara wants to follow along. Like we said, she won't be here for the stream, but usually she lurks, even if she can't come talk with us.
Don't give away her secrets like that. I don't want her. The secrets of DM Lacara are deep.
That took me a while to figure out. I was like, "Who's the greedy dwarf dragon?" It's Fafnir. That took me a second to figure out. I was like, Faffy. Nope, Flaffy. That's a Pokemon. I knew it was F.
But it looks like our first item is going to be some Sanctified wings.
And this is one from MonkeyDM, who probably a lot of you already know. He is quite famous, especially when it comes to Unearthed Arcana. Artifact, so it is very rare, but think of artifacts again as like, oh, I'm this thing that I have, no one else is gonna have this. This one requires attunement by a non-evil creature. Remember, generally speaking, you have 3 attunement slots, unless your class or subclass gives you an extra one. You're generally going to have to deal with those 3 for the whole game. But while you're attuned to it, you have a resistance to radiant damage and a flying speed of 40 feet. In addition, while attuned, you can, as a bonus action, summon the sacred powers held within the wings, transforming yourself into a celestial knight. You gain the following benefits.
There it is.
So even better, well, it depends on how you're looking at it. If you have that mace that Nico the cleric has in Uni in the Quest for the Lost Horn, summon 6 celestials a day. No, you are the celestial. Yeah.
Oh man.
Tell us what these benefits are when you're a celestial knight.
Well, it would appear that your creature type becomes celestial. The first time you are reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright during the transformation, you can drop to 1 HP instead. You can use the wings to shield yourself against damage. When you're hit by an attack or you fail a strength, dex, or con saving throw, you can use reaction to gain +2 to your AC against that attack or +4 bonus to that saving throw.
Oh.
Does not show a limit, which means anytime. And you unleash a dangerously powerful light that radiates from your entire being, threatening to destroy all. You shed bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for another 10 feet. And each time you deal damage to a creature, you deal additional radiant damage equal to your PB, your proficiency bonus. This transformation lasts only for a minute and ends early if you get knocked unconscious. And once you've used the wings this way, you can't do it again until you long rest. So there is some saving grace, I guess, to this. I know. Oh, I know.
I'm glad that there's 2 sets of things you get, like you always have passive abilities from this, but then you have your transformation. I do feel like this is very, we'll say, coded for rules as written 2014 books, where like you only get 1 magic item ish across your whole campaign. It's like if you had this at the end game, this is crazy cool. You've changed a lot about your character, as opposed to what 2024 wants you to do, where you're supposed to go from 1 to 20 and have like a bajillion magic items and all your stats are overpowered. It might seem a little weak in comparison to that, but for 2014 rules, like straight out the book, this is really good, really really good.
This is definitely an item acquired later on in a campaign.
Mm.
However, this is an item that I feel like, and when I say later on in a campaign, I would say around the time you hit the teens. I
Mm.
think this is acceptable. I try not to give magic items of insane power to people before they could potentially cast their equivalent spells.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just me. Only because, or not so far away. Like I might give a bolt, like a staff of lightning that casts lightning bolt to people, maybe a level 2 or away from when they might actually be able to gain the spell lightning bolt. Because I think that's a fair time to do it. You know, uh, this is definitely like a level 11, maybe 12 kind of item for me.
I would definitely say like this is, if you figure 2014-ish, where like you generally end your game between like 12
Yeah.
and 14. This is like, oh, you've worked alongside Celestials this entire time. They
Mm.
are bestowing upon you a gift for your final trial. That's almost what this feels like. Like you're an
Yes.
honorary Celestial now.
Yeah. This is the paladin who stayed on the path, or like the light domain cleric who's truly stuck to their guns. This is what they get awarded by like their patron or their deity, or even a celestial warlock in a
Ooh.
2014 situation. Like they feel as though you've earned it, and as a reward for staying so faithful to their craft and like to them, here they're giving you this. You know what I mean? They're like, I consider you a celestial myself.
You before you were one of my children, but now you are one of my peers.
Yeah. Yes, very much so. A sign of promotion.
Mm.
Definitely a sign of promotion.
I've never seen a magic item that gave you like two different numbers, because this is +2 bonus to your AC, but against an attack, or a +4 bonus to saving throw. I've never seen them do two different things, but this is really cool because, like, sure, you could use the feathers to block, but
Mhm.
if you use those wings to like do a flap and push people back with the wind, it's so
Oh,
cool. And it
oh yeah.
adds to like
There's a lot of theme to it.
your like acrobatics in midair, or like you're just trying to push back as hard, pull on something, and your wings are flapping. Like that's really clever, Monkey DM.
And it allows flavor, which, as we always cry here at the round table for, it's a necessary thing at your table. It
Mm.
gives players agency to do a lot of cool stuff. You know, they they finally get to survive. They thought they were about to fail this thing. They activate this ability. How do you want it to look? They flap their wings backwards to avoid the explosive range of a fireball, shooting straight up in the sky. Cool things that they get to do. It brings fun to long roll sessions because you can get lost in the dice.
It's true. The only thing I understand is flavor wise writing that like the light that's radiating off of you is threatening to destroy all. I get that that's flavorful writing, and yes, it's very flavorful.
Mhm.
I thought it was just going to be, and right
Aura.
now they're calling them emanations in 2024, where if it's a field that you push out that moves with you, it's an emanation, um, instead of an aura. I mean, I guess
Why
you
don't
can
we
be
like the word
confused.
aura anymore?
I feel like they're trying to differentiate between auras that give you passives versus auras that give you actives, but that's not there's still no break between them because you could have I forgot what spell it is. It's not Wall of Force, but there's one of them that makes a bubble around you that moves with you, and that one counts as an emanation, but it's technically a passive.
It seems like they're nitpicking their words.
Yeah.
Quite honestly. For what reason? Only WotC thinks they know.
Mm.
But this definitely seems kind of like a rules lawyering kind of tactic where they don't want to say one thing because they want to sound cool, kind of, you know?
Yeah. Bonus. So, if you were to get your Sanctified wings at 12, 13-ish, your PB would be a +4 or +5. And that means every time you hit somebody, you're going to add an extra 4 or 5, which isn't a lot at those levels, but it adds up, especially if you consider someone who's probably got multi-attack, or if they're a fighter and they're using action surge. An extra 20 damage for free ain't bad.
Well, yeah, because it is noting that it's not just the first time, it's each time you do damage.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So if you're, let's say,
give it to a monk.
Yep. So now you're thinking what I'm thinking. A flurry of blows at a high level monk. Oh, you're ripping through someone with insanely high scale damage.
Just like a literal flurry of blows, just like almost JoJo's Bizarre Adventure levels, like Star Platinum.
Absolutely,
just like
JoJo's. This is highly entering the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure levels of combat, because you are absolutely catching someone with holy hands. I would absolutely flavor it that your wings literally turn into fists when you flurry of blows with this in your celestial form, and
that's great.
You just proceed to just knock someone's teeth out.
I didn't even think of that. If this was given to a monk who's way of the astral self, the wings like just take the shape of the. Oh, that's amazing.
And there, you see what you just did there. You see what happened.
Oh, that's amazing. Because again, this doesn't have to go to a paladin. This character that they're using in the art is probably a paladin, but it doesn't say it has to be requires attunement from a paladin. It just says by a non-evil creature. So this could go to any class.
Most people assume that any form of holy anything should go to the paladin. It doesn't need to. There is literally nothing in rules as written or even perceived that ever says you must do it this way. You know what I mean? There's absolutely nothing.
Even in the original DMG, I don't know about the 2024 one, they're like, by the way, paladins aren't swearing fealty to a god or what have you. They're swearing it to an oath. And to be honest, I think that makes paladins super easy to make subclasses for, because it's just like you make an oath like you're a Green Lantern per se.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be about anything, and you could do that.
Paladins literally are Green Lanterns.
That's true. It is all by willpower. I didn't think of that.
They are actually, I've never thought of it until you said that just now, but they literally are.
Oh my god.
Every paladin's order is a lantern corps.
Oh my god. We just broke the code.
Gygax is awakening. I think we gotta be careful what we say. He's gonna rise like Vecna. He's like, what did you say? Gary. Everybody don't look.
I lost my train of thought. I'm just like, I'm in awe of that. It's true. It's 100% true.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that is 1,000% the way these things work. I think that it is absolutely that's exactly how I think if you needed to explain Paladins to somebody who was a comic book fan, be like, Paladins are the Green Lantern Corps.
Oh my god. We
You
just
manifest your
broke the
power.
code.
Yeah, we absolutely just cracked the code there. I think we absolutely either we've stumbled upon something we weren't supposed to realize,
The Pinkertons
or
are
we
coming.
cracked the code. Yeah, either I'm about to get a very angry knock on my door in a couple of hours after the stream and be awoken from my slumber, or something else is entirely else has occurred. But either way, I am for what has occurred. I absolutely for it. That being said, this is a cool item, and I'm thankful that it is not one of those homebrew style magic items that just destroys the sanctity of the game.
Yeah.
It's got limitations. It's got sensibilities.
I was worried because I didn't read ahead in the description. Monkey put the details of how long it lasts and how many times you can do it. So I didn't see that until the end, and I was like, "Oh no, can you do this infinite times? This is not good." Because then you'll just stay in that form all the time.
Oh, of course. But thankfully, thankfully Monkey did put in there a limit, which means that it does have its checks and balances, and you 1,000% need that. There is too much that can already be abused in D&D. And I don't say that to say that people shouldn't be looking to find interesting ways to play their character, but there are people who look just to break the game for combat. And there's more than that for combat. I like that this can be themed narratively for a bunch of reasons as to why you might want to utilize this ability in a time of crisis.
I like this. I'm
I'm
gonna put this in my repository. Well, so as you guys know, the repository doesn't have things that the DM hands out, so like creatures aren't in there and items aren't in there. But I'm gonna put it in my list of items that I can hand out. Sorry. Because I don't want my players to be looking, because then they'll be like, I want this. I'm like, no. No.
Get nothing.
How dare you?
Get no creatures.
Can I okay, I'm putting this out into the universe. I found way back when my intention for Bacon's character in the campaign that I'm running is that he would side with. So in my world, this is a little bit of an aside, but in my world, I'm using the. It's okay if my players listen to this. I think they figured it out by now, and if they haven't figured it out by now, then they're never going to figure it out. So I don't really care. The rest of the group will be like, you're slow, okay? But I'm using the Raven Queen background where she was an elf and tried to become more, and it didn't go as well as she expected. And so
I'm familiar with it.
Bacon is a shadow sorcerer, and in my world, pretty much all the shadow sorcerers are of that what once was an elf's bloodline. And so my original intention was that Bacon was going to side with the shadow folk because her realm is currently where Grimbo's library is, because she took it. And I was like, oh, I can, just wrap all these things up with a nice little bow. Everything's going to be great. And I found somebody made a magic item for the Raven Queen it's a dagger, it's a feather, and it like levels up with the player. And the whole time I've been like, oh, this is going to be amazing. He's going to love it. And then because 2014 rules made it so easy to be like, hey, this happened in the campaign. I want to do this. Bacon was like, hey, I want to get in touch with the other side of my family because he's a fire genasi. And instead, he became a warlock of Mygara, the Dawn Titan. instead of the Raven Queen. So that item that I had been planning to give him for the entire campaign, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, well, this is a bummer. Like, I had such great ideas. Now I can't give him this item because he's shunned that side of his family.
It's like, oh, but I think that happens a lot of times. Where you're like, oh, I've got this great idea for a character, and your players just like, no, I think we'll go completely.
I would say, in that
Right.
vein, though,
Like, huh?
of
Huh?
evolving
But
items.
all work.
This is what we were gonna do, and now we're not. Oh no, I think I lost you, Shid. Wait, are you back?
We try.
Oh no, I lost Shin. I heard a pop, like as if he left, but no. He's still here according to Discord. Alright, well, we try to figure out... Where'd you go? Oh. I was gonna say that I think you could even have evolving item like this. If you started with, oh, it gives you the resistance to radiant damage, and then your wings kind of get bigger and grow, and they're big enough to hold you, and then you get those extra things. You could do that too. You could break this down into an item that gets better with the character. So like if you're an Asimar, for example, this could be part of your loadout sort of thing, like right from the beginning. But while Shin's coming back, I'm going to change the music real quick. I think you saw me do that, because we're going to switch to the next set of items on this list, which is actually a set. Pop this on.
I think we're back. I think we're good.
Hello!
Thank you. Yeah, brief technical difficulty.
But you're back.
But
We love you.
Okay. I wasn't gonna just leave you like that.
I hope not. I'm gonna unpin Sanctified Wings because we're gonna move on to 10 magic items from the deck of nostalgic things by BJHypes. So for those of you on YouTube,
okay, that already concerns me.
For those of you on YouTube, you can come down to the description, click that link. For those of you on Twitch, I'm throwing it up, pinning it for the next 30 minutes. And I will also throw it in here.
Let's see what we got. Okay, I will say immediately, I do think the artwork is cute.
It's good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Oh no, I forgot to tell you guys what it was before I pinned it. Whoops. My bad. And I forgot to... He's credited on YouTube. My bad. Now we're back. Cool. So, this first one, there's a person in Shin and I's lives who would love... I think we could get him to play D&D with just this first item. The Pack of Wraith Busting.
Yeah, there's absolutely someone.
Who you gonna message? Wraith Busters!
When was this post from? I'm just curious.
4 years ago.
Wow, this is ironically anyone who's a Magic the Gathering player or fan, or has watched some of maybe Wakami's Magic the Gathering streams. One of the most recent sets, Duskmourn, features a lot of horrors and Ghostbuster adjacent themes. This would have fit in there. I think there literally is a card that is equivalent of this.
They did do a secret lair with Ghostbusters cartoon characters, so I believe that wholeheartedly.
And this is almost 1 for 1.
You get...
I love it.
3... Okay, so you get one thing that you can do once per long rest, you can cast either Fairy Fire or Sea Invisibility. And then once per long rest, you can cast Hunter's Mark, but only against an undead creature. However, the flavor of Hunter's Mark is mwah! Would you like to tell them about the flavor of Hunter's Mark?
I think I would. This Hunter's Mark forms a bright beam of pulsating energy between you and the creature. While active, every friendly creature of your choosing benefits from the effects of the spell. However, you must use a bonus action each turn to keep the beam active. Do not, under any circumstance, apply 2 of these marks to the same creature. If theirs happens, there's a 50-50 chance both packs of Wraith Busting explode, as if they were 9th level fireball spells, or each operator gains True Seeing for 1 hour. Creatures killed while marked explode, sending slime in every direction. The fact that they found a way to put the warning about how dangerous it would be to cross the streams, but simultaneously made it that one of the side effects is True Seeing, is such peak referencing. I wholeheartedly already like this entire set of items. Just
Okay. Everyone knows I'm bad
off
at
the
math.
bat.
I just want to figure out 9th level fireball. Okay.
It's a lot of damage. It and this is 2024 fireball. This is 2014 fireball. Okay, this is. Let's take a look. So fireball at its 3rd level cast is 8d6, right?
Mm-hmm.
You increase when you cast this at the 4th level or higher. The damage increases by 1d6 for each slot above the 3rd, which means you are slapping an additional 6d6 worth of damage on to make 14d6 fireball spells.
Potentially 112.
Just point blank.
That'll kill Steve.
Steve is done. Steve is gone.
Forget your bastion. It's gone now.
Oh, yeah.
But also sending slime in every direction. Fantastic. Especially if, say you're in, a high fantasy campaign. You haven't had comedy moments yet, but you gave some NPCs one of these to stop some ghosts. And you haven't really described it as Ghostbusters yet. Your players just have to kind of figure it out. And then when that beam's going, another player shoots the beam. There's a big explosion, but there's slime all over the room. I would love to see the look on your players' faces for that. Oh, it would be amazing.
Oh, they would shut. I want to watch them shut down and then power back up and realize, wait a minute, this is amazing. Because I temporarily shut down. But like I said, I think that this already sets me up for an exciting look at the rest of these items here. So what do we have next?
Next up is the Bracelet of Slapping.
Okay. I think I just dated myself by remembering this. I know you remember it too, Okami.
Oh, yeah. Whoopish.
Oh, man. Oh, man. I remember one time, we must have been, like 2nd or 3rd grade. A girl in my class slapped one of these bracelets on me. And she's like, this one's yours. And all of my friends were like, I think that's your wife now. I didn't understand what that meant. I may have accidentally, and now that I think back on it, maybe I did accidentally get child married well before my time. I don't know. Maybe I was accidentally brought to a coup that I was unaware of. But this is an amazing callback. Just on its own, this is an amazing callback to probably one of the most interesting items that we had as kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okami, could you explain though what does a bracelet of slapping get to do?
Okay, so the craziest thing about this is that for those of you who are old like us, a slap bracelet, you literally have to slap on someone. You would think a melee item. However, what BJHypes has done is that you can throw them at people within 30 feet to slap it onto their arms or legs if they fail a Dex 14 saving throw. Within 30 feet, you throw. It's basically a bolus at this point. Slap!
I think this is the greatest thing ever.
And you can decide whether it hits the creature's arms or legs. If you restrain their arms, attacks have advantage against them, and they have disadvantage when they attack. But if their legs are restrained, their walking speed becomes 0. As an action, though, the bracelets of slapping can be shattered with a 14 strength saving throw. With a 14 check or removed for reuse over 1 minute. Comes in packs of 2d4 plus 2!
That right there. That's the chef's kiss.
This is how you build Batman as an empowered. He has bracelets of slapping.
Oh, 1,000% how you build Batman. This is absolutely how you build Batman. Personally, I think this is just amazing. It is a cool item, and this actually kind of lets you make a 90s campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could really have a lot of fun with this.
I am using in my campaign an item from Fate Forge. They're kind of like, they serve almost the same purpose as what is it called? Sea Prism Stone in One Piece, where like if you wrap someone up in them, it stops them from using their Devil Fruit. But Fate Forge has bracelets that stop people from using spells with somatic components. Like if you move your hands to do magic, the bracelets stop you. I tweaked them so there's different versions. We have like a thread that assassins will use where they wrap it around your neck like piano wire, and if you try to cast a spell with a verbal component, it tightens. But like this makes sense if all the town, like just the town policemen, your town guard had these, just like a packet of them within each group. And a criminal's running away, and they're just lobbing them at their legs.
I love that. I love that. I love that also because it gives players combat options that change the flow of combat interestingly. Like this is a cool way to change the flow of combat that doesn't require true magic spells.
Mm-hmm. It's a wondrous item, so you could flavor it as magic, or you could just flavor it as like Artificer made this weird metal that likes to adhere to things and bends.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, the fact that it is truly wondrous, it makes it and it's an uncommon wondrous item. Uncommon wondrous item, which means it's a chance that you could find more.
Mm-hmm. Man.
What else have they given us?
If I had gone through this earlier, I would have used those bracelets of slapping.
I think if you didn't use the bracelets of slapping, I think the next item would have sold you on everything.
I think you need to tell us about pumped up boots.
Okay. So, while I will not sing the song about the pumped up kicks because it is depressing, I will tell you all about the pumped up boots. Get pumped. Endorsed by Pro Gladiators, the pumped up boots double your jump distance and allow you to make full jumps and high jumps without movement beforehand. While equipped, your long jump distance is double your strength score, and your high jump distance is 6 plus double your strength modifier. Once per long rest, as a bonus action, you can pump up your kicks and cast jump on yourself, tripling your jump distance for 1 minute. Beware, this may make you a target for anthropomorphic animal friends who need help in games of athletics. If you do not understand that reference, I need you to go watch the original Space Jam right now. I had pump up kicks as a kid. They are the only pair of sneakers I ever owned in such a lame fashion. And I truly believe that if I pumped them up, I was going to get maximum jump distance. I think I begged my grandparents for them, and they were like, "Okay." I ran those things into the ground. I say that to say, what an amazing nostalgia call. Just like,
it's also just a really good, not analog, but alternative to the boosts of striding and springing, which
yes.
already exist, are a regular magic item. This is a really good alternative.
Oh yeah, it's a fun alternative, and it's playing with a skill, or I should say an action that I don't think a lot of people think about at times, which is the jump action. You know, it's not a super useful action at all times, but mostly because a lot of people always want to jump and like somehow attack at the same time. But because jumping is an action, you can't necessarily do both. It does suck. I know for a lot of people it does suck, but a lot of times, you know, there is a certain level of, you don't need the hulking barbarian to be doing 30-foot jumps in the air, falling down with 8d12 damage and potentially hurting themselves. You know, I think part of the problem is that fall damage is a thing. Yeah. Fall damage is a thing, folks. And you will mess around and kill yourself if you don't pay attention to your fall damage. This, though, really, really and truly, I think, is awesome. Putting this on one of your less strength-based characters gives them everything they need to kind of have fun, I think. Like, you get to imagine being able to cast fireballs after you've jumped to the top of a high building and just rain them down on somebody.
The ranger in our game, Goblin Slayer, played by Jack DT, he's a ranger, he's got magic, what have you, but 9 times out of 10, the only magical spell he uses is jump. He just jumps, and he's like, I'm going to find the tallest spot I can sit my little archer booty in, because he's an archer in our campaign, even though his name is Goblin Slayer and he's dressed up like Goblin Slayer. I'm gonna park my booty wherever I can that's up high, and so 9 times out of 10, the only spell he casts is jump.
This is the item for him.
It's true.
This is the pumped up boots. I think personally it is a cool thing to use and give to someone. I think that this is such a well designed item. Honestly, I think all their items have been very well designed so far. They've impressed me. With their stuff so far.
Supposedly there's an actual book of all these items. I might have to go look that up.
Yeah, I was gonna say you may have to send that my way, because I feel these people deserve support.
I'm gonna go look. When we get to the end of all these 10 items, we're gonna go see how we can support BJHypes and BJH, because this is good stuff.
But you know what else is good stuff, folks? If you've been here for a little bit of time, the Roundtable itself and all the fun content Okami produces. And if you've been enjoying yourself, while DM Lacara may not physically be here to tell you how you can help. I do believe Okami, she sent you a message to
There's
let
a
people
message.
know.
Everyone pick up your banana phones.
Hit the buttons. Do
This
the
isn't
thing.
ring.
If you have money, make the buttons give him money. If you don't have money, just hit the buttons that subscribe, and that also gets him money. So you get to feel good either way.
Yay! Also, for those of you on, I'm pointing at this screen as if you can tell that I'm pointing to the Twitch chat, but you cannot. If you're on Twitch right now,
We try. We try.
if you're on Twitch right now, and you either buy a sub or gift a sub to my channel, you get 3 months free of Discord Nitro. I don't know if that's on everybody's channel, but every time I boot up the stream, Twitch is like, yo, you have rewards enabled. Here you go. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to say no.
So look at that. Subscribe to Okami, get some free Nitro. And then what you can do with that free Nitro is you can use those 3 months to come into the Okami Gakure and boost that server, helping it even further.
Come on,
it's all
come
circular.
join us. It's
all circular.
It's great, man. It's great over here.
It's that good stuff.
All right. The next one, I think we're going to split this one down the middle because there's a lot of options here, because the next Wondrous item is legendary and requires attunement. It's the Bracers of Jelly!
Good old jelly.
Incorporates the magics of jellies, oozes, and slimes. While you're attuned, you're resistant to acid damage, and every long rest, you can choose 2 of the following colors or quirks to activate. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different colors, but each long rest you're choosing 2. So this is like one of those items where if you know you're going into a certain place the next day, you got to wake up in the morning, prepare your spells if you're a prepared spellcaster, and be like, oh, I'm going to choose this ooze or this jelly. And flavor-wise, like if you're running into everyone's favorite tiny oozling, if you're wearing bracers like made out of his people, how's he going to react to that?
Oh, I don't think he's going to react quite well. I can almost guarantee he might have a slight issue with this.
Why don't you tell us about some of these colored abilities? That sounds way more racist once it came out of my mouth.
It's okay, because I knew I knew where you were going. So I knew where we would wind up. Let's start, though. If you're feeling a little fancy, you might go with a little bit of an amorphous pink, giving your body and any equipment you hold the ability to be freely formless and move through spaces narrow as an inch wide without any movement penalty. You literally become jelly and just glides through stuff. You are lumpy space princess in her most glob form.
I didn't think of this until you said it out loud. I was like, oh, you could be the Terminator. And then I'm like, no, you're way more terrifying than the T-1000. You're so much more terrifying because it's your whole body that shrinks and goops into one little spot. It's not just bits and pieces. It's a whole body. Like, imagine somebody's chasing you, you close the wooden door, and they start leaking through the slats, like, ugh.
Oh, no, that's horrifying. I'm going to be the first to tell you, that is absolutely horrifying. And I'm for it. I'm 1,000% for it. That being said, that's not all you get to do, because if that's not enough, you can go orange slime, gaining corrosive abilities. Any non-magical metal weapons that hit you are destroyed after dealing damage, and as an action, you can dissolve up to a cubic foot of non-magical metal by touching it. The implications of this in-game make a character so powerful. because you literally can be like slime on and get swung on by a bunch of goblins with weapons, and they just don't really hurt you. And they just watch their weapons dissipate. Like, can you imagine a barbarian raging and then turning corrosive with the new 2024 rules?
Again, we're not really big proponents here of weapon
2024.
breaking, but
Or 2024.
True. But the fact that these are legendary, you would hope this would be very, very end game. Most of the guys you're fighting by that point are. If you gave this to someone at like level 1 and they were using it like as a hand-me-down from a famous hero in their family line, that's too much. Cut that shit out. But if it's the very end of the game, you figure most of the people who are hitting you are also hitting you with magic weapons. So it's not that much of a worry. You will be a terror to local bandits if they have the misfortune of trying to rob you, however.
Or imagine getting put in regular jail.
They close the cell doors and you just start running into them and they're like, what is he doing in there? And the bars just melt and they're like, what?
You're just on the other. It's just like, hey, buddy, come here. What? And you just grab his armor and it just starts melting, and the bars start melting too. It's just like, that's what I thought. It's like, huh? However, if you're happy to be stuck in need of getting away, you can also go yellow. And when in yellow slime or yellow jelly mode, you gain spider climb, allowing you to freely walk along all surfaces, including walls and upside downs on ceilings at your normal speed. Once again, spider climb, I think, is a forgotten, powerful ability.
Oh, woefully underrated.
Yeah, like, it's sad that people don't realize, I think, sometimes the applications of spider climb in so many, especially in dungeon scenarios.
That living in that third dimension where you can go anywhere is awesome. It's just so cool. Like, what? Yeah. It's just amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's woefully underused. It's more powerful than you realize. When you start thinking about puzzles in a dungeon where you cannot touch the floor, someone with spider climb, as long as they can touch the ceiling. Like, I, as a DM, if I have a room where the floor is booby trapped, but someone can use spider climb, if I don't prepare for it, I'm in for literally someone just going, I cast spider climb. And just getting around everything I've worked so hard to put in that room just to stop them. You know? You have to be prepared.
I will also put out there, if you're a physical DM, be aware of the weight of your creatures. My players they're in like a wizard's tower that I had physical tower pieces for. And
did this wizard's tower magically appear at level 9? I'm sorry. Or was it level 5? Did it just pop
level
out?
5, yeah. Level 5, totally built, has a mind of its own, you know. Just bastion things.
Yes.
Go
ahead. Sorry, Okawi.
It's all good. But I had them fight a cavern spider and a phase spider, and some of my players were using, I think Goblin Slayer has an item that lets him use spider climb. So he was spider climbing up the walls. This spider, the mini I was using for it is the Queen Spider from Bloodborne, which is a fat mini. And I was like, yes, no, not Rom the Vacuous Spider, but like the one that's in if you're in the DLC, like the first chapel you walk into that has all the spiders.
Oh, yes.
I can't think of what
Okay,
it's
I know what
called.
you're talking
But
about.
oh, it might not be the DLC because the DLC is basically Innsmouth. But there's a
Yeah.
chapel you go into, and there's just a big, huge spider in the center, but you only see the smaller spiders, which are also terrifying. But the mini is huge. This creature's huge, and I was like, I'm gonna be so cool at this. So I bought like little adhesive circles from the dollar store, and I usually do use them where I'll like stick things to the walls and the floors in my dungeons so my players don't knock them down, or like to show elevation. And I must have put like 4 or 5 adhesive circles on the bottom of the cavern spider, and I stuck him to the ceiling so he was actually like coming down, and he was too heavy, and he just like came down and knocked the whole tower down.
Oh,
And I
no.
was like, he didn't do that. Pretend that didn't just happen.
You're like, hey, whatever you think you just saw, you didn't see. All right, let's just it's 86 this one. Oh, that's great though. That's actually hilarious at the same time.
Listen, 3D is cool. So go use spider climb. Use spider climb, use jump. Very helpful, underrated things.
Oh yeah. Definitely underrated. Definitely a lot more function than people give it credit for.
And like just being able to move around in another dimension is crazy.
Oh,
Tactically,
there's so much
like
that could be
mwah, mwah. I mean, if you have wings too, okay, but everybody gets wings. Everybody can fly. Sometimes you just want to chill in the corner.
Eventually, everyone does get wings.
Too many Red Bulls.
Eventually, wings become a dime a dozen.
Yep. Not sanctified wings, though. Those are from your celestial mommy or daddy.
It's celestial daddy.
Okay. The next option.
I say you get to take the next few.
The next option is the only one that I've seen in this set. 'Cause I did read this one before, where I think there needs to be some clarification. But green is split. If you would drop to 0 hit points, a slime copy instantly takes your place, and you're teleported to a point of your choosing within 50 feet with half the hit points you had remaining. This can happen once per long rest. Problem with this is, it says if you drop to 0 hit points, half of 0 is still 0. So I think they mean you have half your health, your max health.
This is very much clone tech, like substitution no jutsu meets shadow clone, but it's slime clone. It's Ivan Ooze.
Ivan. Yes, it is.
Shout out to all my 90s kids. Go and remember all the fun times of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. Still mad that in moving, I lost my power coins. From McDonald's when they were doing that promotion. Still mad, but very much that ability, and I think that's dope.
I like it. And this one, almost all the other all the other things we've gone through, you can just keep doing infinite times. This one only works once per long rest, which is good, because if I was fighting a player and they just kept splitting themselves in half, I would be absolutely pissed.
Oh, I'd be livid. What? You need to stop. the words "this stops now" would absolutely leave my mouth. Like, I'd be like, hey, this ends here. All right.
I'm legitimately ripping off your player's arms.
Yeah, like, hey, you know how you thought you could move? You can't. You movement, and you are done. Congratulations on being the first person who cannot move. Just like, no, I'm sorry, you cannot move. You cannot take this with you. You will not be passing go and collecting $200 in my world. I'm sorry. You are officially, you are toast.
All All right, the next one is probably the most underwhelming of the set, but while standing still, you're invisible. All stealth checks are made at advantage.
I think
So
it's handy.
it could be pretty handy. Now I'm thinking about it. I feel like this leads into situations where you and your DM have like a separate game going, where like you're trying to stay still for as long as possible and you're rolling, and the DM's like trying to do things that'll make your character move, like, oh, you know, it's very dusty in this room, so you feel a sneeze building. Can you hold it in?
Oh, my favorite. That's always my favorite. Hey, can you manage just not
To have like an entire mucus explosion for the next like 30 seconds. But again, you get Drax's ability to stand perfectly still. I'd go completely invisible if I stand perfectly still.
That's not a thing. Oh, it's definitely a thing. It's absolutely a thing.
The final color, though, gives you the engulf ability. Where as an action, you can make a competing strength check against one creature medium or smaller, engulfing them on a success. While engulfed, they take 66 acid damage at the top of every turn. They have full cover, and they're restrained until they use an action to attempt another competing strength check. While engulfing, your movement speed is halved. Now, okay, all things considered, this is whatever. This is a cool way to take someone off the board. But how you flavor this could make your game suddenly become a horror game. Because it's not specified how you're engulfing them.
I think I'm going to be using bits of this for my own horror game. If you don't think I was about to be like, notation taken.
Just like, imagine you run up to another creature, and as you're running up to them, like you tell them you hear a cracking noise as your jaw distends, and your mouth just opens to inhuman proportions, and you just like your whole, like the top half of your torso sort of contorts and becomes a little bit more transparent, jelly-like. It takes on a purple hue as the top half of your body lengthens and stretches and just pours down like a viscous liquid on top of one of your opponents. And you're just like, and now it's a horror campaign.
Yeah, no, congratulations. You did that. That is absolutely how you get a horror campaign. Good Lord. Almost took me out.
I had to get up and I was acting that out too.
Kind of scared. I will say though, what a cool item, what a cool callback as well. Because that is very much a dope callback to the old ways that, you know, you would. It's a cool call. It's just a cool callback to jelly. Everything was jelly when we were kids. Everything was super jelly, and you know, jelly rings and jelly everything. Just so this is such a cool little like callback. I love it. I love everything about this collection so far, personally, and they've got my vote. If they were looking for it, they've got it.
So what's up next? Oh, this one. I love the idea of this one.
Yes,
but
I flipped to the next page and saw it. I will take care of this one because if ever you wanted to watch pretty much horrifying things occur, you played Lemmings at some point in your life. Lemmings let you feel like you had essentially godlike powers before Black and White 2 came out. This is where you got to play God. The Lamp of Lemmings, which is a wondrous item, which is very rare, As an action, you can rub the lamp of lemmings and conjure forth a spectral lemming within 30 feet of you. It's a mindless but surprisingly capable creature that only exists to instantly complete a simple task, then disappear. There are 100 spectral lemmings in the lamp, and it breaks when all of them have been called forth. While they can't communicate, they all understand a simple task and will perform it to the best of their abilities. They have 10 AC, a single hit point, and cannot attack other than their explode function. The following tasks can be completed. They can build a 15-foot ladder that remains for 24 hours, dig or mine a 5x5 foot hole with the excavate. Sign gives them the ability to stand in place of the sign of your design for 24 hours. Parachute allows them to open a parachute that holds 200 pounds and remains for 10 minutes and explode, which causes them to spontaneously combust, dealing 1d6 fire damage. This is
Thanks for the follow, Arvin.
absolutely
Oh, hey, Arvin.
amazing. This is absolutely amazing. This is absolutely amazing.
I was trying to figure out when I read this one for the first time. Oh, it doesn't make any more lemmings. No. You have those 100 lemmings. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, you have 100 lemmings.
Okay.
I want it.
I don't know if
Did you
there's
ever
been a
play
new
Lemmings?
Lemmings game in a long time, but
No.
there was there's at least 50 different Lemmings games. I've played Lemmings on
Oh, yeah.
on the Genesis, on the Game Gear, on the Game Boy, on computers. Lemmings was good stuff back in the day. Like those are some of my favorite kinds of puzzle games.
Because Lemmings was just dumb fun.
This is
The purpose of a
fantastic.
Lemmings game, I don't truly understand. I'm going to be very honest. I know that it was supposed to be objective based. I just don't know if I ever completed the objective. But I do have fond memories of playing the Lemmings games. They were fun, but this is a perfect call back to how the Lemmings games were.
Mm-hmm. I just realized that each one lemming can make a 15-foot ladder? Oh, that's crazy. Normally in Lemmings, when you tell them to go build up, they just lay out a slot to go to the next block, and then they jump down, and then they go back up, and they do it again, they do it again, they do it again. Well, you have to select them and then tell them to do it again. But actually, that's a lot of 15-foot ladders. Or will you be a huge douchebag and make all 100 of them explode?
Oh, I'm giving. But now here's the thing: do each of them explode, dealing 1d6 damage?
Yeah, to creatures within 5 feet. It's not just one thing.
Mm-hmm. So you could literally send in a bomb squad of lemmings.
Mm-hmm.
And an artificer at the right level gets to turn this into literally an item they can duplicate. The new Forge Cleric can duplicate this at high enough levels.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You know what I'm doing, right? You know I'm duplicating.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Hold on. Okay, so if you figure, we'll say you're playing hexes just to make this easier. Creatures within 5 feet. So potentially you're pumping out 600 damage altogether. Wow. That's a lot of damage. But also, let's face it, your players are going to do some incredibly stupid things. So, like, 9 times out of 10, they're going to waste like 90 of these guys making signs.
Well, your players especially. Your players absolutely especially. Not to mention when they sacrifice all 100 of them, they're going to cry because they probably named them.
Yeah, my players probably would have named each and every one of the 100.
Yeah. And they're gonna hate it. They're gonna hate it when the wizard has like a mass production of these things, and it's just like, oh, these things, and just keeps blowing them up.
You know what the craziest part of this is? There's no roll for explode. You just take it.
Oh yeah, you just blow up. you just watch these things just have the most like Flight of the Valkyrie style moment as they all just proceed to explode.
just imagine there's a fiefdom going on, but really the fiefdom is just there's a warlord who had one of these, and everyone who came to fight him, he's just like sitting on his throne, rubbing the lamp, sending out lemmings to explode, and it's just killed everyone who's come in. Everyone thinks he has an infinite supply, but he's trying to very sparingly use his 100 lemmings.
That's scarily hilarious because I could see it. I can absolutely see it.
Or this is your hold the line moment. You have to hold back an enemy horde. There's just like a whole wave of undead coming in, and you're like, you and your companions are all beat up. Nobody's got any spell slots left, and someone's like, and you know they have to cough up blood on the floor because they're about to die. That's how it works. They take out the lamp of lemmings. They're like, I need you to build me trenches, and I gotta have somebody with a sign to be like, walk in the trench. And then we have to send out some more lemmings. We have to hold this line for the next like 36 hours. It's just lemmings.
There's something hilarious about that.
It finally cracks, and they're like, no! As the horde just pours over them. Oh, that's... there's so much you can do with this. This is amazing. Love it.
Uh-huh. What do we have next? Because we still have a few more to go through. What do we have next? We could spend all day on this.
We could.
The
string of silliness!
Better. Wholesome family fun in a can. I have never heard the most perfect description of silly string a day in my life. Holy hell. Every string of silliness contains 100 feet of colorful, harmless, non-sticky webbing that can be shot up to 30 feet. The secret, each can contains a prismatic spider that regenerates any webbing used every day at dawn. Warning, do not, as an action, shake this can vigorously. Can I just say that single-handedly, as the warning... Chef's kiss. And immediately spray, as this will launch a 5-foot cube of sticky webs at any point within 30 feet. A creature that starts their turn in this area must hypothetically make a DC 14 saving throw. Okami, you know they're going to shake the can.
Oh, 100%. Wait until you get to the end of this. It's just, the flavor's there.
It's a DC 14 deck save. And to be saving or to be restrained? Okay. And we wouldn't want that, would we? A creature caught in this. Flammable rainbow web. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Wait, it gets better.
Oh, no. Can break free using athletics. Shaking the can and spraying spends all the remaining, forcing the prismatic spider to let out a tiny annoyed. Oh, come on! So he gets upset. He gets upset. Oh, I'm sorry. I broke into a coughing spree. That was too perfect.
There has to be a village of people who just collect spiders, and you think that like they're making it so they can make they're collecting them so they can get thread or whatever to make finely woven tapestries and stuff. But they've just got strings of silliness, and they all worship Lolth or something so they could commune with spiders. And it's just sometimes people attack the village, and if you can pick up on that language,
the village or
the village, all you hear is just a chorus of "Oh, come on!"
Imagine that at the beginning of a war. Oh, come on! As it just flies through the air, and a bunch of pissed off prismatic spiders start like coming out of the can. Oh, that's amazing. That might be the greatest thing ever. That single-handedly might be the greatest thing I've ever heard.
This is also this is the vibe of Adventure Time. I just love it. I love it so
1,000%.
much. Oh, come on!
Oh, yeah. This is so Adventure Time it hurts.
BJHypes, you are getting us hype.
Sir, you won. I don't know what you've won, but you've done it.
But wait, there's more. If DM Shin doesn't die,
I promise I'll stop dying momentarily.
are you sure? Because if not, I'm gonna make sure you live with the bracelet of friendship.
Oh my god. Stop. It's not a real thing. The bracelet of friendship cannot be a real thing. Go ahead, Okami. Give my I'm gonna let you handle this.
This item relies on the most powerful magic of them all. No, not love, you dingus! Evocation! When two creatures on the same plane of existence wear matching ones, so everyone in your group can have different ones, but they match? Like, oh my god, you guys are a fashion statement. But while you're wearing them, you can speak to each other up to 1,000 feet away. To activate, simply touch the bracelet and speak aloud. Your voice will appear telepathically in the head of anyone wearing a magic bracelet. So your whole party could just have one and be like, yeah, we made these. We're cool. It does sound echoey if you're in the same room, though. New bracelets of friendship can be added to the rest by weaving 100 gold worth of phase spider butt rope into each bracelet you desire to connect.
Say that sentence one more time for me. 100 gold worth of what?
Phase spider butt rope into each bracelet you desire to connect. So, explain, how are you giving, presuming, like, the spiders are like the ones from the can of string of silliness. Like, these are totally fully sentient spiders. Are you handing them gold? But they're so small. Anyway, actually, a phase spider is like a medium size.
You're just handing all of them some money, and they're just like, "Thanks, man. We're gonna get to work on." They just start turning their butts to your wrist, and immediately just start getting to work.
The super cool thing about this is this is what makes me feel like this is the item you get almost at the end of your campaign, like real close to the end, so that when you're old and what have you. The bracelet of friendship tightens uncomfortably enough to wake you from sleep for 1 minute if a creature wearing the bracelet that's matching drops to 0 hit points, even if they're beyond 1,000 feet and on a different plane of existence. You know when your friends are in trouble.
That's cute. That's sickeningly cute. I shouldn't support this as much as I will.
It's so cute. And then you guys break up, you go your separate ways, but one of you keeps adventuring. And then you pick up this campaign later, so that character who was adventuring, everyone in the group feels the thing tighten and they assume it must be him, so they go to help him, but it wasn't him. One of the other characters was murdered, and now it's a murder mystery.
Oh. I'm sold. Thanks.
Listen, you need some of that good flavor. That's what we're here for. We're here to give you flavor.
Only the best flavor.
Oh yes. Oh yes. But next up we have. Ooh, I'm gonna give you Slam Cola, a 6-pack.
Ooh, a 6-pack of good old Slam Cola? I feel like I have to read this in obnoxious 90s voice.
Oh, for sure, 100%. Or as Mr. Torg, one or the other.
You know, because get ready for your taste buds to explode as Slam Cola is back and more energy packed than ever before. With enough sugar and caffeine to feed a small village, you won't be able to remember life before Slam. Pick up a 6er today. Side effects. Drinking Slam Cola as a bonus action allows you an action surge, which grants you one additional action on top of your regular action. After a minute of chugging a Slam Cola, you suffer 1 level of exhaustion. Sleep may be difficult and your eyes may feel as though they are being held open by a colony of ants. Probably, absolutely.
The colony of ants is terrifying.
But I also love that you the may in the sleep part, it's like, so sleep probably will be difficult and your eyes will absolutely feel as though they're being held open by a colony of ants. What a threat. What a cosmic level threat this is.
I love the way Bodhi Age drew like a medieval 6-pack.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, this is 1,000% a medieval 6-pack.
I'm so glad they went for the you suffer 1 level of exhaustion. But
yeah,
being that this is a 6-pack, if
the whole party's going down.
The whole party's going down, or if this is your last stand, you can kill yourself. Do everything that you think you possibly can, and then try to drink that last one. Because it'll take a little bit to hit, because since it's a minute after.
You know what else is crazy? If you do this as a bonus action, you could slam all 6 in a turn. Drinking a Slam Cola as a bonus action allows you an action surge, which grants you an additional action.
Oh my god. Yep, you can bonus action, bonus action, bonus action.
You could slam all 6 Slam Colas and die in literally the most glorious fashion I've ever seen. I don't even know what the body does when the minute happens and you hit 6 levels of exhaustion. I'm pretty sure you're just a crippled pile of gunk for your party to try to figure out what to do with.
Or, I guess, spoilers for those of you watching the Book of Daryl Dixon, the Book of Carol, whatever. The French people basically turned into Umbrella, and they're trying to make super zombies so that they can have their own soldiers. Yeah. But you shoot a zombie with the serum, and it gets like superpowers. And apparently, if you shoot a living person with the serum, just their head explodes. Just. And I was like, huh? Okay, I guess that makes sense. No, it doesn't.
You know what else doesn't make sense, Okami? The next item.
Oh boy.
I'm going to let you handle this one.
The Sender of Dreams! Oh. While holding this sparkly pink sender, you can cast the cantrip Message. Additionally, you can cast Sending 3 times for long rest. But the only word you can send or hear through the Sender of Dreams is, "What's up?"
What's up?
Oh
During
my
wartime, these senders were hastily deployed, resulting in the Code of What's Up, in which the number of times it was stated correlated to secret instructions. It was a tragic and deeply silly time.
Deeply silly time.
You may notice a small, evil-looking horn devil button at the bottom of the center. The bottom of the sender. Pressing this instantly connects you to a surprisingly pleasant fiend who will listen to you rant about your day as long as you listen to them in return.
What?
I think we know who's answering.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely, we know.
You rang.
Oh, we absolutely know. But also, the callback to the original Scary Movie. Shout out to the Wayans brothers for thank them for bringing this. They do not sponsor this channel. We would love it if they did. But I don't think they watch D&D, so I don't think they do anything D&D related. But this is such like the fact that they even put in there the coda what's up because and 10 out of 10 to you for doing it properly because I had to respond in turn. It's so beautiful that they said that it's literally code. It was code and during war times. It's such a dumb reference and callback that I think I fell further in love with BJHypes and Bodhi by themselves. Like this is a perfect item. This is your sending stone.
Mm-hmm. If I didn't have the banana phone in my campaign, I would have used this 100%.
I feel like I could use this in a campaign and even get my girlfriend to play.
Ooh. And like, you don't have to use the code of WhatsApp. You can make it a different code that fits your world more, and it's still going to be absolutely fantastic.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, if you're doing a hood campaign, it only says dead ass.
Oh my god. And when you get a message on it, you just hear your phone go, "Yerp."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a hell I'm going to, and I'm gonna be there very soon. Oh, that's great. I know we only have one item left, so let's send them off with the boots of free skiing. Okami, if this first line is not a reference to a long forgotten band, I don't know what anything is anymore. Because it's all downhill from here. While wearing the boots of free skiing, you can use as a bonus action to deploy or retract a pair of skis, allowing you to ignore difficult terrain caused by snow or ice and ski through it at double your speed. These boots contain a dark, abominable entity which you can attempt to call forth. Once per long rest, you can summon as an action a Yeti to a point within 60 feet for a minute. It has its own initiative, and at first it obeys your verbal commands, but at the end of every turn, it makes a charisma save. On a successful save, the Yeti ignores your directions and will spend every remaining turn trying to kill you and only you as efficiently as possible. You can dismiss the Yeti as an action. This is so many 90s references, 2000s. This is so much packed into one item. This is like an SSX reference, a James Bond reference. You can connect this to any snow related. You could even say this is Jackie Chan's first strike if you wanted to. You could go, yeah. You know exactly the scene I'm talking about too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know exactly the scene I'm talking.
this item is beautiful from a D&D standpoint because nothing gives you maneuverability through the difficult terrain of ice unless you can naturally walk across it.
And
This is
doubling your
literally
speed,
doubling
this
your
is
speed.
fantastic. From both a flavor and a combat like ingenuity level. If you're chasing someone, they freeze up the land in front of you to slow you down or to keep you at bay. And you're like, ka-chick, ka-chick, and suddenly you're twice as fast and more maneuverable. They're like, what the hell? This is good stuff. And if you waste, this is a bonus action.
This is absolutely.
You could even action dash.
This is.
Quadruple your speed. Let me look up. I just want to look up and see if there's a new Yeti. Oh, there. Wait, does it say regular Yeti or abominable Yeti? Just regular Yeti. Okay. There are in fact two different versions.
This is a regular Yeti.
I think he's the one who throws. Huh? Oh no, it's not the one. Wait, so then is the abominable the one that has the rock? No, abominable just has cold breath, but instead a regular Yeti has chilling gaze.
That's scary.
I thought they had rock. I don't know where I got rock from. Oh well. Still pretty cool to have this dude just chasing you. A Yeti's a CR3, so you figure he's not. Since this is a rare item, you're probably not that scared of a level 3 of a CR3 creature, but the fact that he can paralyze you by looking at you means he's gonna do it. And if you're in combat with a whole bunch of other dudes where you figure I need to summon this Yeti so we have another body on the field to, help win this battle, and he turns on you, that's going to be a problem.
But simultaneously, if you think about it, this thing can move 40 feet. You have double movement speed on ice. So all you need to do is get ice down and skedaddle.
It's true.
This is the item you give to the mage in your party that decided to become Iceman. Or Captain Cold. So they can literally skate down their own ice ramps. Like, can you imagine that? They're charging into battle. They're using create water and freezing the water to keep skating as cantrips just beneath them.
Oh, that's fantastic. And the retraction or deploy, you can keep doing it. So yeah, if you're traveling, like if you want to travel across, it's almost like there's a couple characters in Genshin who have cryovisions, where when they just walk on water, it freezes beneath them. Like oh no, what is his name? The black captain.
Kaya?
Is he Aokiji? No, Aokiji. I think he is Aokiji. Is the ice Logia guy, right? Or is Aokiji? Yeah. I'm right. Aokiji.
Oh, you're talking about from One Piece.
Yeah, from One Piece. Like he just walks over the ice and it freezes below him. You can deploy those skis and just keep freezing the stuff beneath you. Yeah, you're fast. You're pretty fast. And you cannot not flavor this as you're so fast and everything is so fluid and graceful. You're like breaking out triple sow cows and stuff.
Oh, Kami, I think I just thought of the most ridiculous use of this. You've got
an enemy like druid who's trying to stop people in like a snowy field, he uses ice storm to freeze everything leading up to him over a lake, right? And in the ice storm and like all of the difficulty of seeing in the ice storm, he just squints his eyes and sees the barbarian on skis coming with his axe like an angry hockey player, just skating at him, double speed, raging, axe at the ready, just cleaves through his team. And the rest of his team is just skating behind them like Tanya Harding, just ready to murder.
This is fantastic. Kudos.
Like if your party pulls that off and you don't play the 90s cartoon Mighty Duck theme song, you have failed them as a DM. Okay.
Oh my god. Fantastic.
What
Okay.
up, Fist?
We said we were going to do this, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to see if... Let me make this smaller so I can read it. Where you are. Oh. Is this a whole supplement? No, he has a website, but that page doesn't go anywhere. Wait.
Booty, please.
Wait, what? I'm very confused. Oh, he made a physical one. He kickstarted it.
Oh, snap.
What? That's crazy. And you can buy one from where? Show me where. Ah, from the Game Crafter. Oh, it comes with cards. Oh, it is cards. It's not a book. He made it. Oh, he made item cards. That makes sense.
That's actually kind of dope. 50 radical item. Oh, there's 40
Oh,
more.
or you can just download all the cards. You don't have to buy them physically. I want to give this guy money, though.
Wait, I love it. 1 to 99 players.
I didn't realize that until just now.
Wait, hold on. Are some of these... I just want to scroll back up for a second. I just want to look at this very quickly. The oven of easy baking, the lamp of lava, the pack of jetting, the pick of air guitaring, and the pet rock. I'm done.
Oh my god. These are good. These are so good.
You know what? Maybe as a Patreon episode, we need to get the other DMs together and review the other 40 and review the other 40 items of the deck of nostalgia.
Oh my god.
I think that could be a whole episode.
I'm going to throw this link up here on Twitch. I'm not going to pin it for anything, but I will add it to the links on YouTube as well, so you can go buy it.
The sweatband of frosted tips!
Right?
Stop.
I think YouTube link for deck. I think we might have to make a purchase. This is absolutely fantastic. Like, good job, okay? Like, BJHypes, you got this.
Yeah, you won. You won.
They gave you $7,000 for this. You deserve more.
For real. Thank you for converting our childhood into the perfect nostalgia set of items that have practical uses that are not... Like, kudos to both supplements that we looked at tonight for managing to not break the immersion of the game.
Yeah.
Like, kudos.
Yes, your cheese magic sounds... Yes, it would fit in here. For sure.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be a third set of items we're gonna look at, but I think we'll save that for another episode.
I think that's okay.
I'm gonna keep items in the list. I know that we said originally that whatever the current theme was, we'd take them out of the poll for next week. But we also said as a group, we had a chat. We were like, oh, we have topics that we haven't had multiple episodes on yet. So if the audience wants to, we'll leave them in there. Like this is our first items episode. There's potential we go through items number 2 next week. So I'm gonna pop into the chat now. Topics for next week. Because remember, you guys and gals out there get a vote as well.
And if you haven't already, as I did say earlier, feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe. As DM Lacara would say it best, click the buttons. Because we want to make sure that we can bring you literally all the great content we can, continuously, and even better content, maybe some live content. And if you can join the Patreon, feel free to. You don't have to. There are free options, but Okami works hard on the stuff he does. And it does give you access to a lot of cool stuff. Oh, Fist, there are some weaponized rubber bands in here.
They're slap bracelets, bruh.
Yeah, Fist, this was the item. This was the set of items that you would have looked at and just been like, "Oh, this is perfect."
This guy gets it. I will copy this. Boop. Throw it in here. We leave the poll open for 24 hours after the stream ends, give or take, because most of the time I forget to start the poll. But for those of you on YouTube, you can just comment on the VOD. For those of you on Twitch, come find us either on the Comic Cure Discord or on Twitter or anywhere else you might find us. Okay, so Zine in this case is, I assume that they're still popular in some places, but for a lot of like weird niche things, they have zines, which are like self-published little pamphlets that they used to release once a month. But in the case of these days, mostly it's a little tiny digital magazine, like between 1 and I'd say like 30 pages. A lot of them end up being black and white because that was the style originally. But it's just a supplement that mostly in the case of TTRPGs, it'll be like, oh, here's an adventure you can run, here's a weird character you can run, here's a weird class you can run, but they're all in one book from different authors. They just slap them all together. I have a couple zines that I think we could go through. And a lot of them aren't 5e themed, they're just TTRPG in general themed, so maybe we could get clubs to join us for those. I know he's also pretty big into zines as a way to get information about stuff. Sunflower seeds. Oh, I bet you there is. I'm not gonna lie. Even the art for the cards makes me want them. I will absolutely give him money.
Yeah, no, I'm.
Can you just buy as many as you want? I want to know. Show me. I want to give you money, bro. How do I give you money? Purchase a deck. I want to.
Just email him and be like, "Sir, here is my card number. Take some money." So
Oh, it's up at the top. Oh, this is a weird website. It's in the banner. In the banner you can buy them. So for $42.99 you get this nice cool little box and your 50 radical items. That's a bit pricey for cards, but I think he deserves some more money. It has its own website? Excuse me? Oh, it's the Kickstarter. No, this is his website. You can buy the physical deck, or you can just download them all. I'm gonna try to give this guy some. Oh, there's more things on the website. You can see them all on the website. Oh, this is fantastic. We could do a whole. Oh, this is
Again, Patreon. This sounds sounds like the perfect patron episode. I'm telling you, Okami.
Ooh, I didn't think of that. yes, Patreon, but also we could do episodes where we just go through decks of reference cards because I have tons of weird stuff.
I am totally down.
I did not think of that until just now. That also leads me into we're gonna do this at some point. I swear to you, Fist. There will be a stream, a trivia stream we get going with Fist and probably Grimjack and hopefully Jin, where I have a bunch of old DC comics like trading cards, and they have trivia on them on the back from my grandpa's comic book shop. And I think we should just go through and see who can answer the most trivia questions. I think that would be super cool. So probably there's not going to be trivia on my reference cards for D&D, but in a similar vein to that, I think that could be fun.
I think it'll be a dope, super dumb cool idea. I think it'll be an entirely fun stream. Something to look forward to. I would definitely be tuning in for that.
Do this one.
For sure.
Bloop. I'm gonna throw that one in there just so we have the real link where you can look at them all. Oh, this is absolutely fantastic. So I hadn't gone through my bookmarks for items until we decided items was going to be the next stream. So I was moving stuff out to the homework section. And I'm glad that I kept these 10 items. I was like, 10 items is a lot to go through in one go. But then I was like, it's just an item. There's not much about it. I think we can get through it. I'm glad this was in the first episode because this is fantastic. Both this and the Sanctified Wings. No disrespect to MonkeyDM. We didn't get to the last one for today, but I don't care. This was the deck of nostalgic things is absolutely fantastic.
Oh yeah. I think this was possibly the perfect items to look at. I definitely want to go through and see what they all look like. I'm definitely throwing some money at him, potentially even to buy a physical deck.
Because okay, you missed this, Fist, but at the beginning we were talking about like, oh, you give the first item that we looked at today from this set was the pack of wraith busting. And we were like, when you spray slime all over your players, they're gonna lose their minds after 2 streams crossed and everything exploded. But also, just imagine giving a pack of wraith busting to one of your players and then handing them the reference card for it, and then being like, wait a minute. That's what I live for here.
I think this, like I said, I think that every item in this collection is perfect. I really do.
Some of the wording needs a little clarification, but like flavor-wise, concept-wise, art-wise, Bodhi H did an amazing job. And also just balance-wise, these are pretty good. BJHypes got it. Like he got it.
Yeah, no, he nailed that 1,000%, and they nailed that 1,000%. It always makes me happy, and I've talked to a number of DMs over the years that hate homebrew items because of how unbalanced they make the game. And if you're a DM or a player trying to create your own magic items, give things balance to make sense. Because if you put something in a game like that, or you want me to put something in a game like that for your character, you're gonna have to take it potentially from somebody else who had it. So if you want your, super mecha android robot suit, guess what? Kill it first and see if you know what you're doing. I'm not gonna hand it to you. I'm not gonna hand it to you.
And also, just putting it out there in the universe, be aware, like, if you want your character to make something new that has never existed in that world, they have to make it. They're not just going to wake up one day and be like, I got it, and build it. Make it, it's got to fit into the world. It's got to be balanced. If it's something brand new to the world, they're going to have to work at it. It's going to take time for them to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah.
Even if you have a magic bastion that poofs things into existence, they can't be worth much money and they can't be that big. Oh, brass knuckles of ice. Oh. That's a good idea. I will say that since this is the items episode, I gave myself a note. I was talking to my players about this. The one wondrous item that I've got in my campaign that I made totally on a whim, but has become like such a staple of my world now, is in the village that I've got that's full of, it's all gnomes, it's Irithambul. It's where the Unseen Protector lives and all the gnomes, pretty much everybody's an artificer there. I was like, all in their tavern, they have these weird alchemical potions that they serve as drinks, and their different colors all have different effects. So I'm like, at some point, I gotta post online like a good thing, maybe commission an artist. At this point, I'm thinking maybe I'll commission Bodhi H. Like, yo, please just draw me some weird ass looking potions where they have different colors that have different effects on people. But I was like, I think my contribution to the greater D&D and TTRPG community as a whole, it's gonna end up being alchemical halls. So at some point, we can talk about that on the stream. I would also, I'm going to put this out to DM Shin and all the other DMs that we sit with at Roundtable. I'm hoping we get to the point where some episodes is just stuff that we've made. I would like to share that with the world too.
Oh, I would absolutely love to share some of the wild things I've cooked up. I'd be happy to in the future.
We got plans here, y'all.
We do. But folks, if you've enjoyed, like I say all the time, if you've enjoyed yourself, you can find Okami here on this channel Monday nights for the Roundtable, but occasionally also during the week, as well as videos that he posts on his YouTube. All the time. So keep your eyes peeled. You never know when he's going to post stuff.
It's true.
And it's pretty good content. I pop up in it sometimes.
It's true. And you can find DM Shin as well on YouTube, where he's been posting more often. I've been watching.
I did make a post of a video. I will be posting periodically, as I do, and eventually popping back in and out of streaming. So keep your eyes peeled. There's always stuff on the horizon. I'm always thinking that I've got something great and then hating it 5 seconds later, because not because I'm a perfectionist, but because I don't quite fully understand how this YouTube thing works.
Fair. Understandable. Completely understandable. But yeah, for those of you who are watching now, you can put in a vote for what you want to see next week. Like I said, if you're on YouTube and you're watching the VOD after the stream's over, you can leave the comment there. If you're on Twitch and you want to tell us, you want to give us a suggestion, the poll options are now posted, but you can't leave comments on Twitch VODs, at least not that I know of. Maybe they changed that too. I don't know. But you can find us on YouTube or Twitter or wherever else. Sorry, X or wherever else we are. Come to the Okami Kakuri Discord. And for those of you on YouTube who do want to become channel members, because Patreon and channel members basically the same thing, except you could join Patreon for free, which you can't become a free channel member. There's no tier for that exists. If you do want to join on YouTube, you'll get early access to videos because I post most of my stuff scheduled, so it comes up earlier. And then if you're on the Okami Kakuri Discord, there's a channel for you to come and chat about the things that you see early. And then there's another channel that's a duplicate of all the Patreon notes that I post for the respected hunters, plus tiers. So now you guys also have access to all my video notes. So come on and help me make stuff, man. I do have one of my, whatchamacallit, one of my rewards is whenever you become a Patreon, a member or a YouTube member. I gotta make shout outs. So I have a new free member on Patreon, and that's Mad Alchemy, which is DM Shin. Thank you.
Of course. I'm always here to help everybody out. But like I said, you can join the Patreon for free. I've done it temporarily for now, but we'll be upping my pledge.
I
I will. It's just, it's first of the month.
Yeah, if you pretty much half of the posts I make every month are free posts, and there's occasionally more. But yeah, come on, it'll at least tell you that something's going on, and then you can be like, hey, why don't you tell me what's going on? And maybe I'll tell you. We'll see what you roll on persuasion.
I like that. I like that a lot. See what you roll on persuasion. As always, you can certainly try, right?
You can certainly try. That being said, we hope you guys and gals enjoyed. Sorry, you players of all classes. Haha! This is D&D stuff. Haha! Ha 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 ha! And we will see you again next week for whatever topic the DMs and you and the community choose at 8 p.m. on Monday nights Eastern Time. Come and join us.
Be there or don't be there, I guess. I was going to say be square, but we're a round table.
Ooh, I see what you did there. I like that. All right, Twitch fans, we're heading out. And YouTube fans, we love you too. And we're also heading out.